Hello everyone, this is Mundan Raghavan, and this video we are going to cover ESLint setup for Playwright. ESLint is the static code analyzer. It will help us to find the problems and to fix the problems at the code level. Let's see how to configure this. Before to that, we need to understand one basic concept, which is transpiling. As we code in TypeScript, it will not be directly executed as a TypeScript. Under the hood, it will be converted into the JS code. Basically, the transcript will have the compiler and which will convert this into the JS code. You will not see this in Playwright because it will seamlessly handle by the TypeScript and the Playwright. If you are using the ESLint, then ESLint wants to know how the TypeScript is being transpiled. For that reason, we need to create one configuration file, how the TypeScript compiler works, so that the ESLint understands. In order to configure and control the ESLint, even for that, we need to create one more configuration file so that we will be two more configuration files. One is to tell how the TypeScript handles the transpiling. Another one is to tell how the ESLint works and what are the rules we can add to that. So with this knowledge, we will just go to our code. Let's go to your VS Code. And you can see two more new files has been added. One is tsconfig.json. This tsconfig.json will tell us how the TypeScript compiling happens. Basically, it will be targeting for the ES 2018 or ECMAScript 2018, which is also known as the ES9. So your TypeScript will be targeted for the ES 2018, and module system will be used as a common JS. Stick mode will help you to have a standard code. ES module interoperability. Basically, it means that if you have the different module system, it will contain or it will accept both module systems. And again, we are telling here include and exclude. Include, which are files inside source folder from any subfolders and which has the extension .ts. And we are excluding all the node modules because it is not in our scope. Next configuration, we can add ESLint.json. Basically, it is .ESLint rc.json. In this again, we are configuring the ESLint. ESLint will have parser plugins which are required for the TypeScript. And after that parser options, again, we are going to have the ECMA version 2018 and source type would be the module. And here you can add all the rules for your project or your framework. Once you have these two configuration, we can run all the static code analyzer. If you're starting from the scratch, you need to first install npm install ESLint and TypeScript. If you go to your terminal and just type enter, and here you can directly see all the installed packages will be added. If you go to your package.json, you can find ESLint as well as the TypeScript. Next to that, you will install ESLint. Obviously, you have installed already. Then you will execute the npx ESLint -init. So this file again generate one more configuration file. See, here you can see there will be a lot of questions. So you need to answer each and every one. Then it will generate one file called ESLint. For example, I will just have a backup here and I will go with the same setups. Here I am going to tell to check the syntax, find problems and enforce code style. I am going to use the JavaScript modules. I am not using any React or Vue.js. Yes, my project is using the TypeScript. And I'm going to execute in node module. Let's go with the default. Let's go with the default. And I will be having my configuration under the JSON. And checking peer dependencies, it will ask to install some more ESLint plugins or parsers. Click yes. The package manager is node package manager. And here it will go with the same kind of syntax. However, we need some more things to be added. So that's the reason we added the parser plugins and other parser options and some basic rules. So now, as we discussed, we have two configuration. One is tsconfig, another one ESLint. If we go to the tsconfig, it tells how the transpile happens. If you go to the ESLint, it tells how the ESLint works and what are the plugins and parsers required for the ESLint to have the static code analyzer in your code. After having these two configuration files, just clear the terminal and go to the package.json and you add two more scripts. One is lint, another one is lint-fix. Basically, we are telling we are going to execute that command ESLint dot every time, so that we are adding this as a shortcut under the script. And lint fix also we are going to execute ESLint dot hyphen fix. These are the commands we can execute directly in the terminal, but we can write the script as well. How to run this? Again, it is a simple command npm run lint. Let's go to the terminal. Npm run lint. When you execute this code, it will go to the package manager, or let's say package.json, and it will look for any command with the lint. Yes, we have the lint, and it will execute the ESLint dot. And before do that, make sure you have saved all the files. Then after that, just execute. And here you can see all the errors. For example, if you go to that code, open in file editor, here you can see require. So require statement not part of import statement. So basically it tries to enforce you to have the import statement rather than the require. And here you can see encrypt is defined but never used. If you just right click or just mouse over, you can see open file editor. Here you can see we have created decrypt, or we have imported decrypt and encrypt we never used. The same way you can find a lot of errors and we can fix it. So basically, whenever you complete your code, you should run your ESLint so that you have some standard code. Here we can add some more rules also as per our project or framework need. For example, codes, I am looking only for the single. If it is not single, it should be considered as an error. Even you can change it as a warning as well. But let me make it as an error and just save it and try to execute one more time. npm run lint. And like last time, we have 119 problems, which means that the single codes were not used in multiple places. For example, if you just go to any one of the file, here you can see every place we might have used the double quote. So that's the reason it is telling we need to use the single quote. However, it is not the requirement for us, so let's command it. Disabling ESLint is not the suggested one. We need to enable the ESLint all the time so that we will have the quality code. However, in practical, in sometimes we need to disable the ESLint. How to disable the ESLint? Go to settings, look for the extensions, and in extension you will find the ESLint. And under the ESLint, you can see something called ESLint enable. Now you can see in all the places the color is red. Let's disable, then ESLint is disabled. Even if you want to do in something called settings level, you can just go to the settings or go to the settings JSON, and here you can see, if you don't have it also, just type ESLint dot enable and it is true. If you make it as a true and save it, again it will show the errors. If you want to disable at the settings.json, you can make it as a false also, or you can directly go to the VS Code UI and you can make the enable and disabling. So by this way, we can enable and disable the ESLint. However, it is very much suggested that we need to have the ESLint on and we need to follow all the rules. Even you can create your own rules inside the ESLint configuration. And this is all about this video, and always be a rainbow in others' cloud.